I don't bow to the system. They don't control my rhythm. I ask God for wisdom. They're out persecuting. I'm out producing music.
Hey everybody, this is Marco Amaya on the Patriot Torch, and I wanted to dive into a very important topic facing our reality today of men versus women, and this it's sort of a war going on. It's almost like a mental war, maybe a spiritual war of people. I've seen people talk about how women are giving up on men because they're losing faith in men, and they see the reasoning of being a lesbian. And then there's people out there making books about how women don't need men, and this feminist movement about how men are oppressing you and oppressing women, and it's just this constant just bombardment of hatred and division between genders. This, to me, is extremely dangerous, and I want to explain why, because I feel like people are receiving this information, the propaganda from the mainstream media, and just accepting it. Like, oh yeah, men are bad, men are terrible, men are horrible, women are so great, basically. It's so weird, because there's obviously good and bad women. It's not just one-sided. It's really sexist, is what it is. And so the problem here is, do you realize the impact of this type of propaganda on the planet, on people, on human civilization? Do you realize when there's an increase in lesbianism, in homosexuality, that means there's less children being produced? So the ultimate goal of this propaganda, when you think about it, what is it, the ultimate goal of this propaganda? Is to end human civilization, to depopulate the planet. Why is this happening? Think about it. Why is this happening? Why is there such a growth of division between a man and woman? Because that's the key to civilization. Obviously, and it's actually very simple when you think about it. How does human civilization exist? Men and women having children and building a civilization together and having more children in order for it to continue to exist. Now, if men and women are at war and are not in love and are not having sex, not having children, not having a relationship, not having, not producing children, because, you can have sex with prostitutes and stuff, and you can use condoms all the time and not, prevent sex or abort children. So the sex can still happen, but here's the problem, is when you're not in love and not producing children, okay? This is a problem. This is a major problem. Because not only do you have homosexuals, which clearly don't produce children. Okay, that's just obvious. They don't produce children. You can't produce children. And then you have straight people that don't want to get married because there's so much propaganda about how bad marriage is. So then what's going to happen? Those people that think marriage is horrible, they don't want to get married, they don't want commitment, because it's like jail, okay, in their minds, because they've been propagandized so much. They don't want children, because then the children is somehow a burden on them. Okay, this is the propaganda. It's such a burden on your life. You don't want that in your life. That's what they're telling everyone. You don't want children. So if you don't have children, guess what happens? You have homosexuals that don't have children. Now you have straight people that don't want children. Notice that there's a correlation here. There's less children being produced. And of course, not everyone buys this stuff. That's why there's children still being produced. But I'm telling you, this is a trend that's increasing, and it's concerning. And I want all the people that have bought into this propaganda of not wanting to have children and not wanting to be homosexual, because if you're giving up on the other gender, I want you to understand that you're buying into a program to depopulate the planet, because that's what it mathematically does. It's not my opinion. Just think about it from a completely logical perspective. If all people bought this propaganda, if all the people believe that, not wanting to have children or being gay, then there would be no children, right? There would be no children. So that means that these ideas of being gay, of being homosexual, of being a lesbian, of being whatever you want to call it, and also being a straight person that doesn't want to have children, those ideas lead to the end of human civilization. It's just that simple. So think about that when you're living your life, before it's too late to make a decision about it, when you're too old to even have kids, especially women, because they stop producing children, right? Way sooner than a man does. Or the ability to. It goes away a lot faster. Think about what you're doing with your life if you buy into that propaganda and how that is affecting human civilization. Because people also think that you as an individual are so small that you don't make an impact on the world, that it doesn't matter what you do. That's a lie. Because you are a reflection of the population. You are part of us. Everyone's a part of everyone. Okay? And so if there's one person that thinks that it's bad to have children, there's obviously more that do think the same way. So you're part of the population. You're part of it. You're a part of the movement, of that idea. And so you contributing to it is adding to that. So think about how you as a ripple in the ocean is affecting things because you're in combination with other people doing the same thing. And I'm not saying that you have to have children. I'm not saying that you can't be gay, because obviously you have the right to do that. That's fine. But I'm telling you that you being a part of it is part of a program to depopulate the planet. I can call it a program, or you can call it something else, an idea, a concept, an idea that leads to something. It has a result in reality. It's not my theory. It's just a simple fact that this would happen if everyone bought into it. Then it would be the end of human civilization. So when you really think about it, dive into it deeper, you start realizing who are the people that are promoting this idea in the media, throughout the world. Is it just people that are just lost, or is this a purpose? Is there a purpose behind these ideas? Because if there is a purpose behind these ideas to push for homosexuality and not having children, then that means that those people that are pushing this idea consciously understand the result that it has on human civilization. They understand what it happens when more and more people fall into it. It means that there's less children being produced. Okay? So that's very concerning when you think about it. And that's why I wanted to point that out, because people don't understand that there are enemies to humanity progressing. There are enemies to humanity growing. There are enemies. It's not just a fairy tale world where everyone's nice and friendly. There are enemies that we have. Enemies. So that's what I wanted to mention today in this video about the depopulation program and how this is affecting people through ideas that they start to believe as part of their life. So I want to share this with you so you can think about that. So I'll see you in the next one.